Hello, welcome to my channel WWE Pulse.
Dusty Rhodes was easily one of the most beloved wrestlers of all time. Here's how he became the American Dream. In professional wrestling, it's always about the character. It's not just what you can do in the ring, but what makes you who you are. The storylines that get the fans emotionally invested in you. If you don't know who Dusty Rhodes is, well, first of all, get educated. Second of all, I'll tell you about him. All that glitters is not gold. That may seem like a strange thing to say about someone whose gimmick was being a charismatic son of a plumber who represented the common man. But in this case, it's actually pretty accurate, despite his down-to-earth portrayal. Rhodes had a net worth estimated at over $3 million by the time of his death. He also owned a lot of land in Florida. A lot of land where there weren't many people living. If you catch my drift, while there have been many famous pro wrestlers throughout history, few are remembered as fondly as the late, great Dusty Rhodes. His legacy lives on through his children, including WWE superstar Dustin Rhodes. But what made him so popular in the first place? Well, as with most things in life, it comes down to the simple stuff. Heart and honesty. These two qualities allowed him to connect with fans around the world, and honestly, his story is quite an inspiring one. So what was the secret to the American Dream's success? In this video, we break down some of the key points that made Dusty Rhodes the legend that he is. Make sure to leave your thoughts below in the comments and subscribe if you're new here. Wheat, that side.
Excellent.
Let's get started. American Dream Dusty Rhodes, born Virgil Runnels, was born in 1945 in Austin, Texas. He grew up on a farm in a small town called Roby, which has a population of just over 2,000 residents today. Wrestling was in his blood, and when he was just 15 years old, he started training under his father, a well-known promoter in the area. By age 18, he was already competing in matches in Texas and Florida territories. He even competed in the NWA's big-time wrestling promotion as the Masked Superstar. You know, sometimes you think you wanna be a wrestler, and then you realize you wanna be a wrestler, not the guy that wears tights and does the wrestling. I wanna be the guy behind the mask. And for a while, that's exactly what he was. But soon enough, he would find his calling as the American Dream. His big break came when he adopted the Dusty Rhodes persona, a rugged, good-to-will boy from the South who fought for the little guy. His character resonated with audiences and quickly became one of the top stars in Georgia Championship Wrestling. After spending several years honing his craft in the ring, Rhodes was ready to take his career to the next level. In 1973, he joined the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, now known as WWE, and became one of its biggest stars. During his time in the WWF, Rhodes won multiple championships and feuded with some of the biggest names in the industry, including Bruno Sammartino, Pedro Morales, and Stan. But it wasn't just his in-ring skills that made him so popular. Rhodes could also draw a crowd like few others. His promos were legendary, often filled with colorful language and southern charm. One of his most famous promos was his hard time speech, which he gave during a championship run in the mid-19 80s into speech. Rhodes talked about the struggles of the working class and promised that he would never forget the people who had supported him throughout his career. It was this kind of authenticity that made him so beloved by fans. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was someone who represented hope and resilience in tough times. But despite his success, Rhodes' career wasn't without its ups and downs. He was arrested several times for assaulting women and was suspended by the WWF in 1986 after tested positive for cocaine. However, he would eventually make a comeback and continue to wrestle until the early 1990s. Throughout his career, Rhodes wrestled for several different promotions, including the National Wrestling Alliance, the American Wrestling Association, and World Championship Wrestling. He also had a brief stint in the rival United States Wrestling Association before returning to WCW in 1988. There he formed a tag team with another wrestling legend, Ricky Steamboat, and won the NWA World Tag Team Championship. But it was back in the WWF where Rhodes really made a name for himself. He was part of the company's golden era and helped to usher in a new generation of wrestling fans. Some of his most iconic matches took place during this time, including his 1986 showdown with WWF champion King Kong Bundy at Madison Square Garden. The match was a brutal one, but Rhodes came out on top after 20 minutes and 80 seconds. It was a moment that cemented his status as a fan favorite and a true American hero. After leaving the WWF in 1990, Rhodes continued to wrestle in WCW until 1991. During his time there, he won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship and the WCW United States Championship. He then returned to the WWF in 1997 for a brief stint, teaming up with his real-life son, Dustin, before retiring for good in 1999. Rhodes' legacy extends beyond the wrestling ring. He was a true innovator, helping to develop the careers of some of the biggest names in the industry, including The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Steve Austin, and John Cena. He was also inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2006, an honor that is reserved for the greatest wrestlers of all time. So what was the secret to the American dream? Success. As with most things in life, it comes down to the simple stuff. Heart and honesty. These two qualities allowed him to connect with fans around the world. Whether he was cutting a promo or stepping into the ring, Rhodes always brought his best, week after week. His passion for the sport was evident to all who watched him perform. And it's this passion that has kept his memory alive long after he retired from wrestling. When talking about his time in the ring, Rhodes once said, "I love the physicality of it. I love telling stories. I love making people believe. I love performing." It was like a stage play. You just happened to wear tights and shoes and not much else. He may have been gone too soon, passing away from a heart attack in 2015 at the age of 69. His impact on the world of professional wrestling will never be forgotten. We've said it before and we'll say it again. Dusty Rhodes was more than just a wrestler. He was a performer, a storyteller, an innovator, a mentor, and most importantly, a legend. His career spanned several decades, and he was a part of some of the biggest moments in wrestling history. He was a larger-than-life character who embodied the American dream and inspired generations of fans. Whether you remember him from his classic mushes or his iconic promos, one thing is for sure. Dusty Rhodes will always be remembered as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. We'd love to hear what you think. What was your favorite moment from Dusty Rhodes' career? Which match or promo made you a fan? Share your thoughts below in the comments section. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Okay guys, thank you for watching my videos.